All right, yo, welcome to Snake Cinema Podcast. I am your host, Prince Elias. And today I have a special guest, Cairo, also known as Captured by Cairo on Instagram. They are the reason I have this beautiful backdrop and logo. And we will introduce them in just a second. Let's see what's the chat. What's up, the Wow Bunch? Rock. What's up, Rock? Good morning.
Hi, Rock.
Candy Cane. Good
Hello, Mother.
morning.
Hello, Mother. That's me.
Of course we got C Jones in the chat.
I'm in the chat everywhere, all day.
Father Don.
Hello, Father Dog.
Yep. Father Don. Good morning, everybody. And I know some more folks are going to trickle in a little later. Let's do some housekeeping right quick. First of all, thank you, everybody who were understanding and patient with me for not having an episode last week. You know, a lot of craziness is going on in my life, but some good stuff has happened too, despite all the bad stuff. So last weekend, I was invited very last minute to a reptile show up in Jackson. It's about an hour away from Memphis. And in the midst of that, I end up getting like a black pastel male to go with my blackhead female for future breeding projects. So I'm super happy about that. And I also got a new rack system. So, even in tragedy and sadness, blessings still happen every once in a while. You just got to find those positives. And speaking of which, we do have a co-host for this podcast. I brought Maleficent with me, my new snake.
Look at it.
She is a blackhead. She is a blackhead, red jean, ringer jean leopard, and she's going to be very important into a future breeding project of mine. So, yes. Oh, yes. Please. And I'm at a coffee shop, so outside. So, yes, if you hear something that sounds like a vacuum, please don't mind it. Cairo got some very noisy neighbors, and I'm
And
at a
now
coffee
it
shop. So if you
is
hear
in the
people
morning.
talking in the background, yeah, if you hear some people, random people talking in the background, it's probably me. So I might mute myself every once in a while when I'm not talking throughout this show. But we have a lot to talk about. And speaking of the Wow Bunch, I like to thank the Wow Bunch because on Tuesday we got into a topic by Father Don with Beyonce. And it kind of trickled on to a whole slew of other comments and topics, which inspired today's episode. And so, me and Cairo was like, yo, we got to talk about this stuff. And so we decided to use this episode as a music heavy podcast so we can
Yes.
say what we want to say and how we want to say it. Because, everybody is entitled to their opinions about music and music artists. And I feel like we should share ours and be
And
open and
I can only
honest.
say so much in the podcast comments because y'all really had me going. Genuinely had me going.
Yeah. Yes. I could tell Cairo was really getting started in the comments. I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this on my platform. We got to talk about a lot of things on my platform. Um,
Yes.
because I want this podcast to be about more than just the content I review. Yes, that's the main point of Snake Cinema Podcast and Snake Music Reviews, but I want to talk about the entertainment industry as a whole because what people don't know about me is that I went to college for film and video productions, and before that, I thought I was going to be the next Timbaland and be a music producer. I wanted to make beats,
Okay.
but I realized that I wasn't musically inclined like the rest of my family. Like my mom taught herself how to play piano by ear. My sister knows how to play classical music. She knows how to sing. Those genes did not pass on to me at all. I tried. I took piano
Oh
lessons.
yeah, mine.
I took drum lessons. Took I took guitar lessons. I tried everything, and it just did not work out in my favor. I'm just not talented enough.
My grandma and my mom were both
So
singers
I
in
like
the
to talk
church.
about it.
So hearing them sing
Oh,
and then
for
like
real? Yeah.
when they sing and then I'm like over here like with a voice crack, I'm like, oh man.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel the same way. So the only time they hear me sing is in the car or if I'm just walking around the house because I can't. No, I'm just not that talented. And my dad can sing. Oh my gosh, my whole family. It's like it just skipped me. Like the genes just skipped me and said, "No, we're gonna go to everybody else." So yeah, so we're not just gonna review things on this platform, but we're gonna talk about the entertainment industry as a whole. So before we get started, let's introduce my wonderful guests. I can't even point right. Cairo. Cairo, introduce yourselves, give your name, your pronouns, all that jazz, what you do, all that jazz.
Hello, my name is Cairo. I am you probably know who Miss Candy is. That's my mother. Hallelujah. Um Sorry, I saw Don D left a comment. So I am a 17-year-old. Don't put on musical kids. I am a 17-year-old entrepreneur. I do graphic design. I make logos. I do business cards. I edit videos, etc., etc. I gotta do it because y'all won't do it yourselves. You know. So I do all of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I am a senior in high school, so I'll be going to college soon. Amen. That's about it.
Amen. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Dundee, Candy. Oh, Ro, welcome. I didn't even see you sneak in. Welcome, Ro. Oh, it's a
I
lot of
did.
folks I didn't see sneak in. Kiddo,
That's
welcome.
my friend Destiny. Hi, Destiny.
Welcome to the podcast. Oh, hello, friend. Thanks for coming out to support.
What is poppin', everybody?
Yes. So we have, I know, oh, the chat is popping real. I can't keep up. Let's see. So let's see. All right. And I will show comments throughout the pod. Um, s- let's see. Okay. So, what topic you want to start with first? I'm going to let you choose.
Let's start off with the Beyonce thing because I have been ever since that podcast. I have
Okay.
genuinely been thinking about that. So, let me
Okay.
start
Okay.
with
Let's do it. Okay. Well, yeah, you get your notes. I grab my notes. But first, and I must say, everybody's opinions are valid. Whether you love Beyonce, whether you hate Beyonce, whether you think like Dundee, she's overrated. But I do feel like a lot of this hate is unjustified. I feel like a lot of this hate is either from because my thing is when I genuinely cannot stand um an artist, usually for me when I cannot stand an artist, is usually because they're constantly bringing out back to back trash music and yet still getting clout, i.e. these young rappers like Blueface and such who have no talent, can't even rap on beat, but yet somehow they're famous. Or they open their mouths and say something stupid out the side of their neck on Twitter, like something racist or something sexist or something transphobe, i.e., who's their rapper I wish would just die. Boosie
six
Badass, I
nine.
hate him with a passion because his hatred for trans people and gay people in general is so
Oh, okay.
unwarranted. Like we could just sit there. A gay person could just sit there and drink coffee, and Boosie Badass will walk up and just slander. And like the way he bullied Dwayne, D Wade, and Gabrielle Union's child, it's just
Yeah,
that's when I say I
it's
hate
just
an
a little
artist.
bit too
That's
much.
that's
It's just a
that's when
little
it's
bit.
justified. That's when it's justified. Yeah. But when it comes to Beyonce, I'm like, she don't say anything. She don't come out and give her political statements. She might give you a dose of her political statements in her music, which is fine. I love when an artist can tell us how they feel about certain things in their music, but she doesn't go on Twitter and talk out the side of her neck and say some bullshit. She keeps to herself. She mostly don't say nothing at all until she's dropping something need to promote. And most of the hate that I see when it comes to her is because of her fans. It has nothing to do with her as the artist. And I just cannot rock with that. I can't rock with shitting on an artist just because they got shitty fans. Because guess what? A lot of these artists do. A lot of these old school music heads, they got some shitty fans. But you don't see nobody saying, "Oh, I hate this person. I hate this person. I hate this artist because I hate their hive or their stands or whatever." It's just stupid. Rihanna got some psycho fans. Nicki Minaj got some psycho fans.
Oh, definitely
Hell,
Nicki
Britney
Minaj and
Spears got
Cardi
some
B.
crazy psycho. Yeah,
Cardi B.
but the difference between Beyonce, but the difference between Beyonce and Nicki Minaj slash Cardi B is that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj put fuel to the fire with their fans. They egg them on. Beyonce don't do that shit. She don't.
I really feel like
And
Beyonce.
also,
So
and also, this is another. Yeah, go ahead, talk, because I'm going through the chats.
I feel like so in my notes I called Beyonce the overrated inspiration. So if obviously at first she started with Destiny's Child and then really went in 2003 released her debut album Dangerously in Love, released Crazy in Love with Jay-Z. That song blew up and everything. Um I feel like people don't see her as a black artist. I feel like that's the main problem because just
Facts,
because she has a
facts.
lighter skin tone doesn't mean that she's any less black than anybody else. If you look up a picture of her father, that man is darker than the night sky. Do not get me started. She is just as black as me, you, whoever else. And people tend to forget people people tend to forget that, and I think that's the main problem. And then the thing is, she's made songs on like racism and stuff in America. Most of them are with Kendrick Lamar. I did not realize that until I started listening, but like most of them are with Kendrick Lamar. So the first one is
Yeah, yeah.
the first one she made is Freedom. So Freedom, I think that was a cover or something. That one was like an amazing song, pretty much about like the feeling trapped in America as a black person and wanting that freedom back, and getting on that. And then the song that everybody knows right now, America Has a Problem. That song goes hard. Don't get me started on America Has a Problem. That song was the best song on Renaissance. Y'all can cancel me for that, but it's
Yeah.
true. It was the best song on Renaissance. And then
Well,
when
no, it's close up there. Yeah.
and then when Kendrick jumped on
I'm
it,
very
let
I'm
me
very
tell
biased with all the club songs.
you, when Kendrick jumped on that track, let me tell you something. I was out. It had me from there. And it's like, it's
Yeah.
also that song is also based off of, so like you said, Beyonce really mixes in political issues into her music. This song, I did my research. This song was based off of a song with the same title, America Has a Problem, Cocaine by Kilo Ali, a song that tells the story of a cocaine addict turned dealer and the rapid decline in his life. So America Has a Problem is a very upbeat song with like a sort of like deeper meaning mixed into it. And like that's what I really like about
Hmm.
Beyonce's music, because like she everybody sees her as this like sort of like airhead artist, but like a lot of her music has some sort of meaning into it, even if it's just about like we like to party, like come on.
Yeah, and even if her songs, the lyrics themselves aren't political, she likes to throw that stuff in the music videos, like Formation, for example. Like, it's a dance club song, but when you watch the music video, it is very, very, very like pro black, Black Lives Matter, all that jazz. Um,
Formation, I
but
love Formation. I
also,
can talk about Formation all day.
let me go back to an old former comment. Dundee, I wasn't referring to you when I said people hate her. Um, we have other friends who use the word hate, literally use the
I
word
could
hate on
I
last
could drop
week's
the names if I
podcast.
wanted to.
On,
I could drop the names.
but not but not even our people we personally know, but just people in general on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. A lot of people literally, the moment you say her name, they say, "Oh, I hate her." Like, those are the words, and I just want to say, Dundee, that wasn't towards you. Um, but when you said she was overrated, that like trick, that like yeah. um, but yeah, But also, oh, that's the point I was trying to make when I was listening to you talk. Also, the excuses they use. Here's the thing, because you said a lot of people don't see her as black. A lot of people, you're right. There are a lot of people out there that don't see her as black artists. They don't see her as part of the culture, a part of whatever. But also, a lot of people hate her because she is black. But not only that, because she's a black female. You see the hate and attacks that they do to our male artists that's up there. Like they tried to do Prince dirty when he was alive. They couldn't because he was so private and he was so, you know, he had a great, first of all, he as a person was good. The only time you heard him is when he actually did interviews. But also his PR team, like you cannot find dirt on Prince, and if you tried to find dirt on Prince is so amazing that people didn't care. Somebody could have, like the fact that the way he passed away. They try the media, and when I say media, I mean the Caucasian persuasion type media, not black media. The media tried to sensationalize his death, make it seem like, oh, he's a drug addict, oh, this is another Whitney Houston, yada yada yada. This is just, he was addicted and now he died and succumbed to that. And black folks was like, nah, you're not finna put no disrespect on Prince's name like that. You're not. Of course, we all know how they tried to destroy Michael, even though the FBI investigated him for 10 years, couldn't find nothing. The people who accused him came back and recanted their stories multiple times and said that they lied for money, but people still tried to shit on him. So imagine if you think people of that stature, the black men of that stature, being attacked and hated because they were so up there. Now you got people who are pissed and can't believe that a black woman has that type of status. Like the fact that Beyonce is bigger than Taylor Swift pisses people off genuinely. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've heard it. People say they don't go on Twitter. I'm always in the Twitters or the X's. There's a new app. People make videos on YouTube, commentary videos, and it's like, y'all really mad. Like, y'all are genuinely mad, and she's just making music. She's going on tour now. Granted, yes, her tour tickets are expensive as fuck, but guess
The
what?
tour, the
I
tour.
feel like with the
Mm.
years, I feel like the years that she's been in the game, the caliber of music she has given us, not just with the group but solo, and like her resume, like she has every right to charge what she wants to charge. And guess what? People are buying them. People are paying them. And guess what? I've done my research. And I'm just using her for an example because her tour is real big this year as well. It's been sold out everywhere. T Swift, same price tags. Madonna, as old as Madonna is, when she goes on tour, same price tags. Lady Gaga, and we're gonna talk about Lady Gaga later in the next topic because that's my inspiration, that's my hero. Big price tags. Like, they deserve everything they ask for. If they ask for $200 to come see them live, they deserve it. Not only that, I told y'all I studied music. I studied the music business. I thought I was gonna be a music producer back in the day. Realized that wasn't it. I wasn't talented enough for it, but I studied it. Touring costs money. And when you're an artist like Beyonce, who has her own record label, all that money is coming out of her pocket, or majority. And then if you're a smaller artist who depends on the record label, all that money is coming from the record label. Artists aren't making money off Spotify and Apple Music. They're not. Even the biggest names, the Drakes, the Beyoncés, the Kendricks, everybody, the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, they're not making any money off our streaming. They made a lot of money off albums back in the day when it was like physical copies that you had to go to stores, but they're not making that type of money now. And so the money that they can make is in the merchandise and the touring. And if you love these artists, even if you hate these artists, if you want them to continue to make music, you're gonna have to support. Now you don't have to go to their concert if you can't afford it. I'm not saying go take out a loan, but no, getting mad at their prices. Their prices are their prices. Just like a lot of us in the reptile community, we sell snakes, we sell lizards, all this stuff, and we always complain about people not wanting to pay our prices or pay what the market is saying. Why are we being hypocrites when it comes to music artists and celebrities? Oh, because you saw them at the Met Gala wearing these expensive dresses. Most of the time, those outfits are rented. They have to return it as soon as the night is over. And they don't go to the Met Gala for free. It's like $2,000, probably more than that, a table, a chair. So, and if their label isn't paying for the ticket, they are paying for the ticket. So, we can't sit here as entrepreneurs saying that our prices are our prices. Pay us, stop asking for discounts, and then complain when our source of entertainment does the same thing. But go ahead and say what you got to say about the touring, Kyra.
My thing is with the tour. Okay. My thing is with the touring. The prices, like you said, they're like the same price as everybody else. The thing is, from what I've been seeing, the show has just been very like boring and low quality. And then like she like I said in the last podcast on Tuesday, she dresses like a broke pimp. If you are going to do this big tour based on this big like this big thing, like you're like this is a gift to the LGBTQ community, at least dress like you care. Don't come in looking like you thrifted something. Like by all means, when you thrift clothes, you got to make it look good. But her outfits just have not been something that you know it's all just been really ugly, in my opinion. Now, keep in mind, I love watching tours and everything. I'm a huge live show fan. I love watching. My favorite band is Fall Out Boy. I will watch
Yes.
them live over and over again.
Yes.
And so it's just like the prices. I feel like everybody's problem with the prices is just that it's just a really low quality show. It's like
And
she's
I
on
get that. And I, yeah. Now go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
she's on stage and she's not really dancing and moving around and stuff. It's more like the backup dancers, and then the twin she has on stage with her. She though they aren't really dancing like they usually do. They're just sort of like what are those like TikTok dance, renegade, like like come on now, like they're better dance moves. There are better dance moves to go for, especially with the songs that she's singing. Like with all the party songs, I don't like "Break My Soul." Strongly dislike that song, but you could come up with a better choreography to it. Her rock, the issue she's overrated when they're Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, Alicia Keys. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, the like my
But
mom
yeah,
said.
but yeah, and I get that. And those, yeah, but
Yeah,
and I get that, and I get that, and everybody's opinions are valid. Everybody's opinions are valid when it comes to this particular tour because we have seen past tours. Some she recorded and released via Netflix and stuff like that, and some
that
we
was
probably
good.
went personally, and some, you know, and some we've seen on other platforms. And so we know what she can do. We know what she can give. And this particular tour is a little lackluster, I will say, according to the small clips I've seen. Now, my sisters, they went to Nashville and saw the show, and they all came back with rave reviews. They loved it. Um, and one of them not even in the consider herself a beehive. Like she will let you know if a song that Beyonce releases trash. She will let you know in a heartbeat. But they said the tour was amazing. So maybe there's a disconnect between people who are physically there versus the people who just see the clips or see it on TV or see it on Amazon or YouTube and stuff like that. But I will say, based off the clips I've seen, you're right. It does feel lackluster. It does feel like she's not giving it her all. And everybody's opinions on that is very valid. I just feel like every time she drops anything, album, song, anything, a lot of the hate is simply unjustified. And I'm not a Beyonce stan. I'm not. I would tell y'all in a heartbeat that she's the worst actor ever. She should stop trying to act in movies. She is dead tone. She ain't got no emotions like Honeybee. Like she ruined Nala in that Lion King remake. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all know I'm a Disney nerd. Um,
Missing the
in every
soul.
movie she's been in, even if I enjoyed the movies themselves, she was always the weakest, the
I
weakest.
feel like the only movie
So
I actually liked her in
I can honestly,
was the Austin Powers movie. That was the only movie I was like, okay, I can see that.
yes, yes. That's the only good one where she actually went tit for tat with Mike Myers, and that was a good.
Yes.
I liked her acting in there, but everything else she's trash. But I feel like some people, when people tell me, oh, I stand Beyonce, and I be like, why? It's always things that has nothing to do with her as an artist or as a person. It's always her fans. It's always that she is a capitalist or make a lot of money. And where does she put her money? Does it go to black people? Does it go to Africa? Does it go to this, that? And I'm like, first of all, why are y'all in y'all pockets? Y'all don't know what she do. And if she does give to charity, if she does give to organizations like Black Lives Matter, stuff like that, the first thing they're gonna say, well, that's just a tax write-off. Like she can't win. She can't win for losing. She could come out and say, I donated $10 billion to Africa, and they gonna say, "Oh, that's just a tax write-off." Like just stupid shit, and it's like,
Yeah,
y'all, come on now,
like my
y'all
mom
doing too
said,
much.
I think I agree with my mom said. Like she said, she's up there, so maybe she just feels like she doesn't have to do as much to really show off. Gold Member, yes, Gold Member is one of her
True.
favorite movies. That is one. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why I know. My mom, she loves that movie.
uh, I love that movie.
They can say, "Amen." Yep,
hmm
real.
Facts, facts.
But yeah, like I mean,
It's
like
crazy.
she's still one of the she's still somebody that inspired Black people to get out there because that Coachella performance. Let me tell you something that will always go in history as one of like the
Man,
best performances ever. That performance right there, I still listen to the live version she released from the Coachella performance because everything
yes, me too.
the way she mixed the songs, the way she put everything together, it was like it all just smoothed out together. And you could really tell that she put effort and work into that compared to like what the tour looks like today. And then it's also like now
And the
that was
fact that she's planned and did most of this stuff while pregnant with twins.
girl, let me tell and then like that was
She did
everything
most of that stuff while pregnant and even after pregnant.
that yes, that was a real production. I watched it with my mom, bro. I
But
was like,
they don't give her. I'm not gonna lie. I almost shed a tear my first time watching it. I ain't gonna lie. I was like this. I was like, black people are great. We are awesome. We create some dope stuff. She also I also love besides Coachella Homecoming on Netflix. For those who don't know, I also love what she did with the Lion King soundtrack. Even though she sucked as Nala, when she went to Disney and said, "Yo, I was inspired and I made an entire album called The Gift. Here,
that
take it," and she gave it to Disney, and they were like, I was like, "Bruh," and she used
that
all
right
these
there.
wonderful African artists. It was African artists I've never heard of until that album, and now I listen to all their music. Like I go crazy. I've always heard of Burna Boy, but after hearing the song he did on that album and also the song he did on Black Panther, I was like, Burna Boy is that guy. He's that guy. And it's a lot of other dope artists. Like my favorite one off that album, The Gift, was My Power. And
Oh,
My Power and Don't Jealous Me. My Power
I
and
like
Don't Jealous Me. I went and researched all those African artists, and now I listen to all their music. I love them.
my
That album
personal favorite
was almost the
was
best thing that she's ever created.
Black Parade. I feel like that song right there just like it was
Yeah.
like the complete like energy of the entire thing. My Power. I was listening to that yesterday while I was taking a quiz. That song go hard, and I passed the quiz. So like come on now, like come on
See?
now. Now, when I saw that Donald Glover was a producer, I was already like, I'm gonna love this because Childish Gambino. Don't get me started on Childish Gambino. I love
Yes.
all of his music.
Yes.
When I found out he produced Mood Forever, bro, I was like, I already knew it. I could already tell. It's just like he every
Hmm
all the energy he puts into his music. It's like people. I feel like he's another underrated artist. People know him, but they don't know him for like I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, the Lion
He's
King was
like Jamie Foxx. He does so much that there's going to be something about him that you forget. People know him
good.
strictly for acting. People know him strictly for comedy. People know him strictly for music. He does so much that he gets forgotten by a section of people in one way or another. Either the people who loved him for his comedy and TV shows like Atlanta forget that he's a musician, and people who know him as a musician right now as a singer and producer forgets that he was rapping first and that he's
Listen,
a great rapper.
Childish Gambino, I listen to his music every single day. Him and Kendrick are like they're like the top two people on my playlist when it comes to like rap music, especially because Donald Glover, I like how he makes like he raps and he raps with a meaning. It's not just words just coming out. Whenever he says something, he means it. Even if it's something you don't particularly agree with,
Yeah.
he still means it. My favorite song particularly is Bonfire. Bonfire and then the
Yeah.
music video for Bonfire. I like when artists have a specific song, and but it doesn't go with the music video until you really listen to the song. That was very much so what
Hmm.
Bonfire was about. And then people didn't really know who Childish Gambino was, Donald Glover was until This Is America, which is very unfortunate because
Yep.
like he has all this other great music. Like This Is America, amazing song, love the meaning, but that's not his only good song.
So ain't. And also, I I like how you said he always had meaning to his lyrics. There's this one EDM because everybody know I love dance music. I love EDM music. He did with Flux Pavilion or Pavillon. I can never say that man's name right, but he did a song, "Do or Die." I love it. I love the original and I love the remix. But still, this day, my favorite rap lyric is so simple and so stupid. But he said, "So street like Elmo, so street like Elmo," and I'm like, this nigga, like that's my favorite rap lyric. I don't even know why. I just find it funny, hilarious, but smart at the same time.
All of my
But
favorite
that's like
Childish
my
Gambino
workout
lyrics
song. That's
all of my favorite Childish Gambino lyrics are in Bonfire. You can ask all of my friends. I constantly quote that. I'm gonna say a word that might
oh,
be
I
considered
believe
a
it.
slur, but is he said made the beat retarded, so I'm calling it a slow jam. That right there, don't even
Yes, yes.
don't
That
even get me.
man, he is underrated. But
Did you
is
say
there anything
you?
else?
Hold on, put that
Hold on.
comment on the screen. Put that comment on the screen. Brent Fayez, him. You calling Beyonce overrated, and you talking about Leave. Go ahead and pack it up for me, pal. Mm-mm. Nope. Cause all y'all, if men who listen to Brent Fayez cannot be trusted, because all y'all is toxic. Don't even get me started on him.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
All y'all is
Oh,
toxic. Can't be trusted.
oh God. Oh God. I'm not gonna lie. There are a couple of the new guys, and when I say new guys, I mean people who've been out since maybe 2019 and above into now. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, and it has nothing to do with being toxic. It's just that his music, a lot of these new guys, the men, the music like Brent, the music has not touched me. He's talented as hell, and I've listened to a couple songs that I love that are on my playlist, but it's like one or two, and I can't tell you off the top of my head the name of those songs. It's like I heard it and I was like, oh, he's dope. But it's like I cannot name you a Brent Fayez. I can name you an album. I can't name you about three songs because I will go and listen to it. Like he's one of those artists. Every time I see them under the new releases, I do go click and listen, but then I forget. He's very forgettable. That's the thing. He's very forgettable for me as a music
The
artist.
only song I
I
can
like
name
artists when I listen
by
to their songs, it has to stick with me.
the only
Oh yeah, we're
come
gonna
here,
mention him. We're gonna mention him in our next topic too.
hi Nameless.
What
The
up,
reason that we're
Nameless?
having this conversation, we had genuine beef. I just want you to know we had genuine beef in the comments last time. Genuinely.
But it's all love, Nameless. It's all love. It's just, but yeah, we we just it's okay to be to disagree with certain people on certain topics. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we're gonna mention. Well, I am. I can't speak for Cairo, but I'm gonna mention Frank Ocean in our next segment. Because our next segment about to get super gay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but for a good thing. um, but yeah, was there anything else that we need to defend Beyonce on? I'm kidding. Is there anything else on the Beyonce topic?
Nope, just like the final thing is just like Beyonce is Beyonce. You like her, or you don't. Like with every other artist, just if you're hating on her and you don't have a good reason to hate on her, child, I don't know what to do with you. It's about time to pack it up. Tom McDonald. Who is Tom
Jesus,
McDonald?
Jesus, Jesus. After we get through with our next two topics, I'm gonna talk about Tom McDonald because I did listen. I did listen, and I got some
Oh,
thoughts. I'm not gonna
okay.
tell you whether good or bad, but I got some thoughts. I got some
I
thoughts.
just I just looked him
so
up. His
so we
picture. I
will
don't.
talk about that later. Yeah, yeah, I did do my research, Jesus, and boy, that's gonna be a topic.
Speaking of
But
Beyonce,
okay, so we're done. Uh,
before we go on,
yes,
Jay
yes.
Z is the ugliest man I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how he got Beyonce. When if the fact that he cheated and they're still together, honestly, he must be doing something right. Um,
I will say, Jay Z is the type of person that inspires me for the fact that he bagged the Beyonce,
his
and he looks
music,
like that. He looks
I
like a
love
fraud.
his music. For
No,
real,
I love his music. His music is amazing. You can't deny
his
him rapping. Yeah, he's
the
amazing
the
rapper.
album the album he made with Kanye, my lord. That album, I listen to that album daily. That album right there, of Fellas in Paris, I can't say the actual word. Fellas in Paris is an amazing song.
But Candy? Why am I still single? That's what I'm trying to understand. But he is an inspiration to all us ugly niggas. Uh, but no, my favorite one of him is gotta be 444. That album, besides American Hustler, but 444, that's my favorite one. I still listen to that to this day on repeat. I need him to make a part two of that.
No, I like, my favorite
Um
song is Otis. That's because my mom was always listening to that in the car,
Otis
bro.
is yeah, Otis is good. Otis is
I got
good.
that song. I got that song. I've had that song memorized since I was 5. Come on now.
Okay, so let's transition to the next segment. And some of y'all might not be feeling this segment. Well, hold on. Do you want to go super gay, or do you want to talk about what is culture to black people in the black community?
Let's go gay first, because if they can't listen to me talk about sexuality, and they can't listen to me talk about black culture, period. Everybody, come on now. Like you can't be
Facts. Preach.
like, it's just
Yeah. And
these are
also we do have, and we're going to get into the topic a little deeper, but we're also going to talk about how black culture, mostly black men and a few toxic black women, um don't see gay people. When they hear the word gay, they automatically think white. Like, they forget that the whole alphabet gang is black people in it. We exist. They forget. When they talk about trans people and gay people and stuff like that, they automatically think white folks. That's that white shit over there. They don't think, hey, they're black gay men that exist. They're black bi men that exist. They're black trans and so on and so forth. So with this next topic of queer people, I'm just gonna say queer as the whole alphabet mafia in the music community that inspire us. And I will, before we begin with our list or our people that we love, I will go ahead and shout out the new school kids, because even though they don't necessarily inspire me, because I've been on this earth longer than most of these artists have, or we're about the same age, I still want to give them a shout out because they're new and they're really doing the damn thing when it comes to the music industry. So of course we got to talk about the King Lil Nas X, the biggest troll in the
Ah!
music industry. I love him.
I love his music so much.
I love him. Let's talk. I want to give a shout out to Kaylani. To
Yes,
me, she was the
Sam's.
first female queer of this new generation to come out and say, "Hey, I'm me, and I don't give a damn." And she has amazing. I seen her live in concert, amazing vocals, amazing dancing. Her tours, even though when I saw her, she was in the beginning stages, so it was rather small, a small venue. You thought that one was performing in an arena. The way she gave a show, that show was top notch. And then who else are the new babies I want to talk about? When I say new babies, I mean like 2019 and to now. Uh, um,
Sam
Rena
Smith.
Sawayana. I always say her name wrong, but yeah, Sam Smith. Rena Sawayana. She is. I want to say she's either Canadian or European, but either way, she's an Asian artist, and I think she's European, but she's an Asian woman, and she's
He's
queer,
Japanese
and her
and British.
music is dope. She's like the Asian Lady Gaga. Yes, thank you. She's like the Japanese Lady Gaga, honestly, with her music, the style, the outfits, and she can sing. If you haven't heard of her, I will type her name in the chats. Look up her Tiny Desk show, her Tiny Desk concert. Amazing. She got the vocals. That woman got the vocals, and of course, years for years. And lastly, Troy Sivan. Those are my picks and shout outs for the new school, the babies who are queer and in the music industry. So I definitely recommend those artists. You look them up. Oh, damn, I forgot. And Kevin Abstract. Kevin Abstract, he's a rapper in the group Brockhampton. I love that entire group Brockhampton, but he's like one of the main rappers, producers, and writers from that group. Kevin Abstract, he is a known, openly bisexual black man, and we don't see many of them in our community just out and proud and say, "Hey, this is me." And he could rap. He could like literally spit bars, lyrics, and a lot of these guys under the table. And he doesn't rap about being gay. He might throw a lyric here or there every once in a while, but he really raps that shit. If you like that backpack rap or that underground hip hop rap, that's his style and his music. Brockhampton, that whole group is amazing. Um, but yeah, those are the new school babies. Now let's begin to talk about those that inspired us growing up. Mine are going to be um my list going to be a lot older. Kairos might be a little. It's going to be older, but a little younger. But let's start with you because you said one name in the chats last week that I totally agree. So go ahead and talk about your boy, your homie, Mr. Fred.
Freddie Mercury. Do not get me started on Freddie Mercury. You can ask my mom. I love Queen with all of my heart. The entire band, not just Freddie Mercury. Roger Taylor, Brian May, John Deacon. I love Queen with a burning passion. But Freddie Mercury is truly someone that stands out to me, especially as a younger gay person. When he came out, when he came out as bisexual, he was automatically told, "No, you're gay," which is a lot of it's what you hear a lot, especially in the LGBT community, because people expect you to either like uh, people either expect you to like one gender or the other. You can't like whoever you want. Yes, he is my favorite.
Both. Yeah.
um, I love like he everything about Freddie Mercury. He was very flamboyant. He was proud of who he was. He didn't care what people thought about him, even when he got AIDS and everything. He was still there. And I remember I knew about Queen, but then I watched the movie Bohemian Rhapsody with my mom, and that was when it really that was when it finally sealed the deal for me because I was like, there there is this openly gay man who wears whatever he wants, says whatever he wants, and he just rocks with it no matter what. And like even with all his hardships and stuff, he was still out there. His family originally didn't support him. It's he gives me
Mhm.
inspiration to embrace who I am and what my sexuality is.
And not only that, because all that is great and amazing. Not only that, the man could write some fucking songs.
Let me tell
And he could sing his ass off. You
he
can't
could
you
on
cannot you cannot sit there. You can hate him for his sexuality, but you cannot say that man was not talented.
and
You
the thing
can't.
is
You cannot.
there was no way people didn't know he was gay after he wrote "Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy" because nothing about that song was straight. I'm sorry. Nothing about that song was straight. Anyway,
That means they wasn't paying attention. They didn't want.
no, for real. But like somebody to love,
uh,
that song right there, that song's been blowing up recently. That's a really good song. Everybody knows Bohemian Rhapsody.
mhm.
Bohemian Rhapsody was beautifully written. It's a song without a meaning. Even though people try to stick a meaning on that song, but I really like it as the song without a meaning. It's just a song you listen to and it's like, oh yeah, it's like a song you get the more the vibes from than the actual like
Yeah,
feeling.
and it's the ultimate karaoke song. You will never have a karaoke night
Yeah.
without that coming up. I've been on like 8 cruises with my family, and that song go on blast on cruise ships. Like cruise
Oh
ships
yeah,
is keeping that song live. You
I
cannot
have
go
all
anywhere without somebody singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
I have all the Queen songs memorized by heart. If you told me to start singing a Queen song, I could sing it from beginning to end.
I do like besides Bohemian Rhapsody, the one song I remember growing up that I fell in love with is and I just said the name in my head and now it's gone. Don't Stop Me Now.
Ah, that
Cause
song, I
I'm
love that
having a
song.
good time, having a good time. That is a feel good song. I love it. I love that song.
The man is clowning me in the comments.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Kid, quit bullying. Quit bullying. But you know what? Speaking of bisexual artists that nobody allowed to be bisexual out and free because it was either if you're bi, they say the moment you date a woman, they're like automatically you're a lesbian. The moment you date a man, automatically you're straight. And it's like, no, no, bisexual people are bisexual people. We don't turn it off. We don't turn off our likings and our
No, it's like a
desires.
switch, like you got like a
And
button
so
on the back.
it's not a switch. Yeah, it's not a switch over your shoulder. You just could turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on.
I feel like being gay
But one
today.
artist that inspired me that I will consider, yeah, that I feel like that has always inspired me. That I feel like I hate that she never got to live in her truth as a bi person, and the only reason, and some people still don't acknowledge it because of her long standing marriage, but it is what it is. We know what it is, and we know the times that she grew up in. So she had to, and she grew up in the church, so she had to keep that on the low low. Is the legendary Miss Whitney Houston, the greatest voice of all time. Um, she was definitely an inspiration, and even though she wasn't considered, she wasn't considered a songwriter, she did write some, um, but her vocals, she could just live off her talents alone vocally. Even when her later years, when she was when you could tell her voice wasn't the same, it was still beautiful in my opinion. Even though it was different, like I think her last song, wasn't it like a gospel song, I Look to You or something like that? When she came out with that single, um people automatically was like, her voice is gone, it's trash, it's destroyed, yada yada yada. I mean, it's different. One, she aged, because if you listen to Mariah Carey now, her voice is different from back in the day. Two,
Yeah,
yes, the recreational stuff did play a factor. Her addiction did play a factor. But three, even though it was different, it was still fucking beautiful. And she will always go down as one of the best vocalists of all time, if not the best vocalist. Because, the Rolling Stone, they did the best female vocals of all time list, and they disrespected everybody on their list heavily. Like the fact that Celine Dion wasn't even on their list to begin with, I wanted to slap whoever wrote that article in Rolling Stone. But we're not gonna harbor on that. But it was like, to me, it's hard to explain. To me, her and Luther Vandross they were like the best black queer artists of all time, if not period. Just taking the black and queer away, black just artists general. Her and Luther, whew, I feel like every gay kid, especially if they wanted to be in the music business, they should look up to people like them. And for all the homophobes and queer phobes out there, who just hate anything that's not straight, we have always been here. We have always been around. We and There are known artists from way back in the day that were black, not just the white ones, um, that were queer, was around in the 1800s, the early 1900s, i.e., Ma Rainey. Ma Rainey, if you ever seen the movie on Netflix, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, she was a legendary blues jazz singer. Um, and even her lover, her girlfriend, was also a singer in her own right. They've been around. We've been around for years. This isn't nothing new. The alphabet mafia isn't new. We're just tired of being in the closet. We're tired of hiding. Um, and and like I said, we've just been here for a long time. The fact that Whitney Houston could not live in her truth is sad. The fact that even Ricky Martin could not be Ricky Martin openly until recently. You know, even though we all knew, we all could see, we was like, yeah, that man, that man's gay. He ain't all the way straight. But it was like, people like George Michaels, you know, the fact that they could not be openly who they are, as well as their great musicianship, their great, you know, they could. I don't think, and it's sad. It's the sad truth. They wouldn't be as big as they are if they came out the closet early, and that's sad. That's sad because not everybody could be. And then you had people like David Bowie. I love David Bowie. He was very androgynous. And people were confused. They were like, "What is he?" Yada yada yada. It wasn't until he married a Iman, a black woman. They were like, "Oh, never mind. He like women. He ain't gay." But it was like he couldn't even come out and say nothing like that back in the day when he first came out. So he had just had to express himself through clothes and things like that. And we still don't know to this day whether, we don't, whether he's bi, pan, whatever. We don't know. And I'm not going to throw labels on him, but it's just sad. It's just sad. But I do like that nowadays, this new generation, oh, they coming out. You gonna know they gay before you hear their songs nowadays. They be like, hey, I'm just letting you know, I got a record dropping Friday, but I also like dick. Just to let you know. So if you don't like my music, don't even bother. Don't even bother. I'm just letting you know right now. um,
But yeah, there are a lot of people that
let's
inspire
see.
me.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I research. Nameless. I research. It's something called study. It's a quote that Michael Jackson said in Ebony magazine years before he passed away. Um, they asked him, "What advice do you give younger artists?" And ever since I heard that quote, that's been my motto for life: study the greats, become greater. And so I do research. I've been studying music since I was a baby. Like I said, or you weren't in the chats earlier this show. Like I said, my entire family are musicians, musically inclined. They can play music. My mom taught herself how to play the piano at the age of 5, just by hearing. She could hear a note and play it on the key. She could repeat it. My sister's a music teacher. My dad's a singer. My entire family. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this, but my grandma's first cousin is Aretha Franklin. Like, I met her. I don't remember meeting her, but she seen me as a baby when she used to come to the family reunions back in the day. Our family is most of our family is still in Detroit. They integrated into Motown and all this other shit. So music has been a part of my life before I started fall in love with movies and in the movie industry. I was studying the music industry. That's just something I study heavily. So I do a lot of research, and then when um when I when I got older and came into the truth of my queerness, I started researching queer artists because I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only human being to exist. So it's like I just start studying shit. And so now I know a lot of shit. Stuff just come off the dome. No, no, I get it. I get it. I get it. But I just want to put the information out there. I just want to put the information out there. So people, if they go back and watch this podcast, they know that I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I actually study this stuff for real. um, I just look into this stuff, and I just love music. I love music so much. That's it. If I had the talent, I would be playing music and touring and stuff. I wouldn't be in this reptile industry for sure. To be honest with y'all, but that just wasn't in my favor. But that's funny though. But Cairo, do you have other queer artists you like to shout out or that
She
inspire you?
she's not exactly a queer artist, but a queer activist, Marsha P. Johnson. The P meaning pay it no mind. Um,
Hell yeah.
she is somebody that really inspired me. I'm not trans, but I am agender, which means I don't feel a presence of gender. I'm just alive. Um, she's also known as the mother of drag. You pay it. RuPaul. Everybody has said Marsha P. Johnson. And then she was, while being transgender wasn't exactly a thing at the time, but she considered herself a self-identified drag queen. Um, and the thing is, like,
Mhm.
when her death came, it was like nobody. It was just like, oh, it was a suicide. Oh, it was this and that. But like, you don't just end up in a river, floating in a
Yeah.
river. Like
Yeah.
that she was. I feel like if there was an actual investigation, that something, even if it was a suicide, we at least would have had more answers, because she was really somebody who set forward to make a change in the world. She was in all these organizations. She started all these organizations. She was a very proud activist. She didn't care how people saw her. She was her, and she was proud of who she was.
Yes. I agree. I agree. And she started she was on the forefront to the Stonewall. She was very forefront up there with the riots and stuff. So, everybody know how I personally feel about police. So I love anybody who could who can actively in their face tell them to go fuck themselves. Yeah. But also I forgot to mention, I don't know how I forgot to mention, I do know how I forgot to mention, because I was talking about old school people. My hero and someone who inspires me in the music industry, Lady Gaga. And she's another one of those, either you love her or you hate her. People would like to say she's overrated or she's a copycat of Madonna and things like that. But I'm sorry, her music just hits different. It hits better. She's an actual, she got the vocals. She can sing. She's proven it to y'all on movie soundtracks. She's proven it to y'all on live stage. She's proven that she got the vocals. She's up there, top 10 vocals. I don't care what nobody say. If you ask her to sing some acapella, she's gonna run a lot of your favorite girls out the room. She can play instruments. She writes her stuff. Her lyrics slap. Um, and she ever since she first came out with Just Dance, I'll never forget. I was a freshman in college when that song dropped. When that song dropped, I was a freshman in college. I'll never forget when I first saw that video in the cafeteria of my college campus. Man, I've been a fan ever since.
Me and
And
my
then
brother
even
Caleb
her, she's
used
so
to do that
talented, so
dance
amazing.
on. Me and my brother Caleb used to do the Just Dance on Just Dance like all the time. That was like one of his favorite
Yeah,
songs.
the game, yeah. and like, and like, uh, it's just, I don't know. That's the person I stand. The way the Beehive act with Beyonce, the way the Navy acts with Rihanna, that's how I act with Gaga. You can't say nothing negative about Gaga to my face without getting cussed out and called everything but a child of God. Cause I'm like, no, you not finna put no disrespect on her name. Even
It
if you
was
don't like
very.
her music, cause even though you don't like her music, because not everybody's into the poppy stuff. I get that. Everybody has their opinion on the type of genres they like and listen to, but you cannot deny her talent. You can't deny her vocals. You can't deny her songwriting. Um, she is amazing, and I just yeah, she's a queer artist that inspired me heavily. She's one of those people. She's still one of those artists today, even though we don't have physical copies of CDs now. I buy her albums. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I bootleg a lot of music off YouTube. I do, because a lot of these artists aren't worth 99 cents, let
I got
alone
mine.
12.99, 13.99. Yes, exactly. I Nowadays vinyls are making a comeback. I will spend 20, 30, $40 on a Lady Gaga vinyl, whether it's some old or some that she might just pop out of my. She's the type person during 2020, during COVID, when we all locked up and she dropped Chromatica. I bought the album, I bought the hoodie, I bought the mask, I bought everything off her off her website. Like she's that type of artist to me. So yeah, that was it on my list. Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston, Lady Gaga, Cairo said, Freddie Mercury, the GOAT. Uh, and we named countless others. And of course, even though she's not a musical artist, the great Marsha P. Johnson is an inspiration in general for us. Um, Now, let's get into the topic that might start some arguments in the chat,
I'm fully
but
ready
it
too.
all goes together. It goes hand in hand with life and in music. And that is the question we're posing today. What is exactly Black culture? And the reason why I asked that, I don't know why I put my iPad up like I was about to leave. I don't know why I did that. My notes is in there. Um, the reason why I asked is because in Tuesday's podcast, shout out to the Wild Bunch and Beyond the Scales. In Tuesday's podcast, when everybody was in the chats talking about Beyonce and all this other stuff, um, the overall energy, the overall feel of it was, to us at least in our opinions, felt like there are certain artists that most people don't consider part of Black culture or part of, for the people or for Black people. And since this is a music heavy podcast, we're going to focus mainly on music. But for those people who don't know or don't care or don't seem to um, understand, is again, there are certain artists and certain genres that people associate with non-Black, which is sad because a lot of genres in music were created by Black folks. Like a lot of people, like everybody wonder why I go crazy over EDM music and dance music and techno and that and you go in the club and it's the raves and the ones and the lights and all the other jazz. Well, if you look at the Spotify's and the Apple Musics today and you see the top artists, yeah, it looks very European. It does. But the genre itself was created by us. So to say I love this artist or I love this genre makes me not Black enough, not a part of Black culture, is asinine to me because that genre was invented by Blacks. Same with country music. The banjo, the instrument itself, the banjo was invented by a Black person. Like, so to say country is not a Black thing, or I'm not Black enough because I love country, because I love Dolly Parton, I'm sorry, Dolly Parton slaps. Her music is amazing. But it's like, we want to pose this question in this debate in the chats. What is exactly Black culture? Because I'm sorry, when it comes to music, Black is more than just hip hop and R&B. It is. It is beyond hip hop and R&B. And we got to get that in our brains somehow. We got to get that we got to stop putting ourselves in a box. We're not just this. We've created so many genres: jazz, blues, rock and roll. We've created rock and roll. There would be no Panic at the Disco if it wasn't for our legends.
Oh,
If
don't
it
get me
wasn't
started
for
on
BB
Candy.
King, there would be no Elvis.
She even got
Fuck
rocked.
Elvis. Like, if it wasn't, like, there would be no, like, I just don't understand.
That's extremely weird, mommy. That's very weird.
I just don't understand that if we like a certain genre, It just gets on my nerves that if I like a certain music artist or a certain genre, that it does not make me black enough. So Cairo, say what you want to say.
All right, all right, all right. So the podcast last time we were talking about Beyonce, and there were a few people in the comments that brought up so someone said, I won't name names. Um, someone said that she wasn't a part of the culture, and that really got me thinking because okay, as a black senior in high school, I am currently in a class called AP African American Studies. So I am constantly faced with questions and such that I need to answer, projects I need to do. So when that person said, sorry, my mom, um, 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 when that person said that he wasn't a part of the culture, that really got me thinking like what is the definition of black culture, and why has it changed so much throughout time and history? What makes an artist a part of the quote unquote culture? What is the culture? How is the culture, and where did it come from? Because if you because like in my opinion, any black artist who makes music, they're a part of the culture. It doesn't matter if you don't have to speak on black empowerment and how we get wronged and all this stuff to be a part of the culture, in my opinion. I feel like if you're black and you're proud of that and you're out here doing things that are like you're out here just giving pure entertainment to black people, and more than that, that could be considered the culture. Because there are people like George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. My grandpa loves that band.
Hmm.
I grew up listening to Parliament, but I will say he didn't have the best personality, but he was still a part of the culture. He was still there when he was there when black people growing up. So it's like giving to multiple races. I feel like there are so many different artists that like if you really look at it, it's like okay, I'm gonna sound a little bit, but like it from what I've noticed, the millennial generation is very stuck on their time and not what's happening now, especially when it comes to black history. Cause like don't get me wrong, I love Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Michael Jackson, One Nation Under Janet Jackson, Outkast. I love all of those. I love all of those artists. Don't get me wrong, because I can go off on Outkast. My mom listens to them all the time. I grew up a culture child. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
But then there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
artists
pretty much. Candy raise you right.
but then again there are artists today that are still doing just as good. Beyonce, just because she's overrated doesn't mean that she's not an inspiration to black people. Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, Pharrell Williams. He is made every single his music is amazing. Megan the Stallion. People don't talk about Megan the Stallion enough. And when they do talk about her, it's always something negative. She's someone even if she isn't like she's but she really does inspire me because she's a tall black woman. I'm like
Hmm.
I'm like 5'10", so I she people make fun of her because she's like, you know, we sing we do sing Anita Baker with my mom, yes we do. But like people don't really get into music. Like her music is just like you can say what you want about Megan Thee Stallion, but her music slaps. That right there. If I'm feeling myself,
Yep.
I'm gonna go listen to Megan Thee Stallion. What's New? When she came out with What's New, I was like, oh, come on. And then Tor, ooh, don't. We're not freeing. We ain't freeing nobody. We ain't freeing nobody. Mm-mm.
Keep him locked up.
Keep
Keep him
for real.
locked up. Sorry.
If you, cause
Sorry.
you don't just shoot somebody and get away with it. Don't. Mm-mm. Anyways, before we get into that, but there are other there are other people that
Ano-
like Jay-Z, even Kanye West. He's controversial, but he was still somebody that inspires people in the music community. All the Kanye West music, I can't. Tory ain't child. I anyways, um
Okay, okay,
Every,
Ro.
everybody sees people in a different light because, and then like at the same time, it's like just because I see Kendrick Lamar as my inspiration doesn't mean that everybody else has to see him as their inspiration. Everybody takes inspiration differently. You like people like Anderson Paak. I
Yep,
love Anderson Paak.
facts.
His music is beautiful, but that doesn't mean people have to like him. People, there's a thing with
Hmm.
Biggie Smalls and Tupac that's constantly going back and forth. I can't say who I like more. I listen to them both equally. That might get me shot down
And
one
both
day,
of them
but
did, and both of them been dead for over 10 years,
exactly.
and there's still the argument still going on. People get mad if one is over the other in the top five list. It's just
But they're both two
I'm
black
through.
artists.
I'm through.
They're both two important black artists that have really
Yeah,
contributed to music. And I feel like if you're a black person that's contributed to the growth of the black community, then you are a part of the culture. It doesn't matter if you black, gay, trans, if you're even if you're just even if you're mixed, it doesn't you are still a part of our community. And I feel like we should take pride in that. While I will say I do wish there were more
yep,
dark skinned actors and such and music artists that really went out there because a lot of the people we see are light skinned. For the longest time I was really like struggling with my personal identity because I'm like, oh, I'm not like I don't have like light skin, I don't have light eyes and
hmm,
stuff. Like, am I really? But then like I see people like my mom. She is one of the most gorgeous people ever. And it really makes me realize like you skin color doesn't matter when it comes to beauty. It all comes down to the personality and how you present yourself. I feel like we shouldn't judge people on the
yep.
amount of blackness and whether or not I feel like we should judge them on their personality. Why should we judge someone on how they see themselves or like how they look? We need to judge them on how they present themselves, what they say, what they speak. Do they bring negativity or positivity?
Exactly, exactly. Because speaking of Tory, but also other artists that I cannot stand, a Boosie Badass.
We can no longer
There
wipe me
are
down.
quote unquote black artists. Uh, there are no longer black artists. There are a lot of artists in the that are considered culture, a part of the culture, that are toxic in our community. They project negative things, um, or they quite frankly just do or say stupid stuff that it's like, but people praise them because they are part of the culture. Oh, because I went to jail, I'm part of the culture. Oh, because I sold drugs, I'm part of the culture. Oh, because I slapped my girl a couple of times, I'm part of the culture. Because like I don't know about y'all, but if not being a criminal doesn't make me black enough, I don't want to be considered that
Suddenly I'm white.
because I've
You
never
know,
done any of that. Yeah, yeah,
like
exactly. Take everything else. Take away me being trans. Take let's say I was hetero cis, loved men and men only, identified as female. Take all that away. I still, according to a lot of people's standards, will not be black enough for y'all. Still, because of anything, the music I listen to, the fact that I ain't been arrested, even though the cops have tried to arrest me several times. Fuck them, and I'm gonna keep saying that on my podcast every 5 seconds. But but it's like I never sold drugs. I grew up in the hood, but it was like when I was younger, but it was like it didn't feel that way before we moved to my granddad's farm. I didn't know I was a part of the hood. I didn't know until I was an adult. I was like, oh, we live we I didn't know that. Because my parents didn't walk around with that mentality, even though, they were struggling, trying to pay bills, trying to raise kids, stuff like that. They never threw that hardship on us. They handled that in-house internally within themselves. But they never said, oh, you know, my kids are ghetto and yada yada. They never walked around with that mentality and try to be like, I'm sorry, my father and my stepdad, they're both real men. And they raised us like real men supposed to raise their kids and stuff. But If people just look at me and see how me and my siblings turned out, they would say we're not black enough. And it's like, for what? Like y'all are mixing, just like y'all are mixing certain music genres to certain cultures and people, even though those music genres and cultures are for everybody. Y'all are associating all the negative stuff to us. Y'all are doing that internally to ourselves. Y'all are internalizing all the negative stuff as being a part of the culture. And that's so annoying, it's toxic, it's asinine, it's all kinds of stuff. It's like y'all don't think so highly of yourself. I'm sorry, but if y'all I'm sorry, but a lot of these rappers that y'all praise, that y'all say are part of the culture, a lot of these singers that y'all praise or saying a part of culture, I don't want to be in the same group with them. I'm sorry. I don't want to be associated with them. And I wish they weren't as famous and big as they are, unfortunately. But it is because we like humans like negativity, we like toxicity, we like all the crazy bullshit. Well, I'm not saying we. I'm talking like me. I will listen to a playlist of nothing but Disney songs before I listen to any of these gangster raps any day, all day, every day. Like, and I'm not apologizing for that. I will listen to Beyonce before I listen to Boosie Badass. I'm not apologizing for that. I will listen to and I will go to concerts of certain artists and not even spend 99 cents to stream other artists. And if this doesn't make us part of culture, sorry, y'all. I don't want to be a part of your culture. And if a certain music artist isn't considered quote unquote a part of the culture, maybe they don't want to be a part of your culture too. Oh, and another thing I hate, that's what I was thinking of. Another thing I hate is we praise and big up these artists and we love these artists and we like, oh yeah, they're on the BET Awards, they own the Stella Awards, they own Soul Train, yada yada yada. We big them up, we big them up. We go crazy. The moment they step foot in the Oscars or the Emmys, or the moment they step foot on the Grammys, they're sellouts. They sold out. I hate that word. I hate it because there are a lot of real sellouts out there in the world. People like Candace Owens is a sellout to the culture. People like the Supreme Court guy, Clarence, that big ugly old man that looked like he go to a culture church. That motherfucker is a sellout. Like
Bro, his name
there
is
are real
Clarence.
sellouts who really sell us out. Yeah, Clarence. Yeah. Though there are real sellouts out there that actively sell out to us. Actively try to destroy us. But y'all mad that Kendrick Lamar won a Grammy. Like y'all is just stupid sometimes. Honestly. And I wish we just take that word away. The moment Meg the Stallion or Lizzo or any of these other artists make it big and end up in Billboard Awards and end up at the Met Gala, now they're sellouts. Instead of us praising, hey, we made it. We did it. Somebody said Issa Rae was a sellout because she made it big on HBO. Like what the world?
I,
Because Insecure wasn't on BET, she a sellout. Like, that's stupid to me. That is stupid. I don't
yeah, I
understand.
feel like it's really just a matter of like, because with all the stuff going on today, for a little bit, I was kind of like, okay, this is all just like it was with all like the Black Lives Matter stuff and everything. That those protests, that's a conversation for another day. But the the way Black people put themselves in the media, why can't we just like make yourself look decent? Like, of course, you're gonna have like the bad apples of every race, like white people, da 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 da. Um, but it's still like, why? Why did you wake up this morning and automatically choose violence? Like,
Exactly.
we I could care less about what you do for work or whatever, as long as you look presentable and everything. Okay, cool, you're making it. You're black, not everybody can not everybody can do that, and I find it very honorable when Black people actually do get themselves out there and present who they are, even when they are scared. Because I will admit, me myself, just being, I'm 17 and I'm still nervous about being on. Like, this is my first podcast, so I'm like freaking out over here, low key. But like, I'm chilling. I keep sinking down in my chair. But like I wouldn't come on this podcast with my pajamas on, because I feel like first impressions are everything. Whether it's people that don't know me on the internet or people that know me in real life, like my mom. I put on my lashes and earrings today. I said I'm gonna make that first impression and I'm gonna make it right. And I feel like that's a people. I feel like people don't do that anymore, and that's one thing. Like, my you're doing crazy. I feel like people don't try to make good first impressions anymore. They kind of go in with the, okay, if it's good, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not. But it's like my grandma always tells me,
Yeah.
you need to look presentable before you go anywhere, even if it's just to school. Like, I will be honest, I wear sweatpants to school sometime, but I'm still gonna make the sweatpants look presentable. I ain't finna look like I just rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I was raised the same way. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are some times where I will go into Walmart without a bra on, without, wear some shorts and a t-shirt and call them the day, so a tank, because I really just don't be feel like getting up for nobody. But for the most part, 90% of the time, I will put some clothes on and look somewhat decent. But
Yep.
there are people out there who they just want to give the bare minimum, and that's it. And it's sad. And that's in all groups, really. But it's
Yeah.
just sad. Like, they don't think of them. And it's not for anybody else. It's not for other people. It's for yourself. I'm not gonna lie. If I walk out the house with just a tank and some shorts and no bra on, I do kind of feel like crappy. But if I present myself, wear a shirt that I like, something that's comfortable, boost these little man boobs up a little bit, wear something decent, it's like I feel good about myself. So if you don't do it for anybody else, do it for yourself. We don't have to present ourselves in a negative light to stay on our topic. We don't have to present ourselves so negative. We don't have to, just because, like I said, when I grew up, we grew up in a hood and I didn't even know it. Just because you're in a fucked up situation, you're in public housing or whatever, doesn't mean. I know some people. I went to some people's apartments, and yes, on the outside it looked like crap. It looks like a hot mess. It looked like it's filled with roaches before you even walk in. But when I walk into the house, it is so neat, clean, presentable, decorated, nice. I did not know I was in public housing. It's how you give off. Just don't let your situation present you. You present yourself despite your situation. Don't let,
Yes.
like I know some kids. I know some kids because I teach, to piggyback off that little dad joke from Nameless. I do teach. I am a teacher. I got some kids who wear the same thing almost every day because they have no choice. They really don't. Or they wear hand me downs from their siblings. They have no choice. But guess what? They parents present them in a way that the average person, wouldn't even know it. They got their child, they got them hand me downs be looking so neat and pretty, even with the faded words, be ironed good. The kid be looking good. It's like, don't let your circumstances dictate how you present yourself. You present yourself despite your circumstances.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Just in case of emergency. Hey, I've been in a situation like that. That one time I thought I was having a heart attack and they had to call the ambulance for me. I was out open. I was out open because I was in my pajamas. I was about to go to sleep. And I feel bad. I
No.
feel bad for the EMT guys. They had to lift up my man boob to put the little thing, the little stents, the little stickers on your chest and stuff like that. I had I had the worst of the worst. My pants were holy because I was going to bed. I was wearing my worst pajamas. I didn't know I was feeling like I was gonna have a heart attack in that moment. But when it comes to emergencies, you gotta be ready, stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready, basically.
Mhm. We
to
forgot about
piggyback off
one.
Candy.
We forgot about another
Because
queer
you never
artist.
know. You could be out in.
We forgot about a queer
Oh,
artist,
yes,
Tyler the
yes.
Creator. Tyler the Creator, amazing. I love his music. He's very. You can tell
Oh, yeah. Yes, Tyler is amazing.
we love Tyler.
I jumped on the Tyler bandwagon real late because I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, when he first came out, he was like Lil Nas X, the biggest troll. And back in those days when Tyler first came out, even before he created Odd Future, when he first came out, he was annoying as fuck. I'm sorry. Every news I heard of Tyler the Creator was something negative, and I was like, if this little boy don't go sit down, I don't even know who he is, but I always hear about him. But then I start hearing certain, like his other artists, his other friends of our future. I start hearing them, and then when I would, watch them on interviews and stuff, they're like, "Yeah, we with Tyler the Creator." I'm like, "Wait a minute, he signed that person, he rocks with that person, he raps with that." I'm like, "Oh shit." I mean, he did give us Frank Ocean. He gave us a lot of people. I love Earl Sweatshirt. I fell in love with Earl Sweatshirt before I fell in love with Tyler, as far as rapping goes. Um, it's just a lot. Tyler is the goat. He really is the goat. He's amazing. In his past, I want to say 3 albums, I've been heavy repeat for me. Heavy repeat. I love Tyler. He is
My
amazing.
only thing is people keep listening to the same song. We get it. You love "See You Again." He has over 20 different songs. Stop playing that song. We get it. You like it. It's a
Yeah,
good song.
yeah.
But there are so many. I hate it. I hate it when people find an artist and they only focus on that one popular song. Like
That one song. Yes.
Flower Boy, the album, it has "See You Again" on it. But what about all the other songs on there? He has a song with Steve Lacy and Frank Ocean that goes hard. His song with ASAP Rocky, "Who That Boy,"
Yes.
that's my jam right there. I be going hard to that song. Where this
Yeah. Yeah.
where this flower blooms, everything. Like he all that Flower Boy, that album was just everything. But people only listen to that one song, and it's like, okay, come on now.
And he's created more dope songs since that one
Exactly.
song. But yeah, that's one thing I do hate. Like, granted, every artist has that one song that everybody loves, or that one song that put them on. Like, we get it. But some of y'all are so tunnel vision that you don't even allow yourself the blessing of hearing other amazing songs by this artist.
And then before it was "See You Again," it was the song on Igor. What was it called? Oh my god, what's the
I can't remember because I think I ignored Igor for a,
New
for a
Magic
while.
Wand. Everybody is freaking. Everybody is still freaking out over.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody is still freaking out over New Magic Wand and Earthquake. They're good songs. Look, I listen to Earthquake daily. New
Yeah,
Magic
yeah.
Wand slaps. But what about songs like "Gone, Gone," "Thank You," "Best Interest"? Come on,
Hmm.
there are so many other songs on the album. Why do you keep pinpointing on these specific songs?
Just them same too. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. That's very frustrating. It really is. I'm
And
like, y'all,
it's
this artist is more than just
it's the
because there's
same
some
thing.
music artists. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. No, go
It's
ahead. Go ahead.
it's the same thing with Steve Lacy. Steve Lacy is an amazing artist, in my opinion. His everybody just focuses on like the
Oh,
same stuff that
oh
he.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cause like, okay, if
I
I
wish I knew it was me.
you
I wish I
see,
knew.
if I gotta hear that song again, I'm
That's all they
screaming.
care about. That's all they care about.
For and that one and what you call it, that song is static. Baby, you got something in your nose, different that K. Did you feel it? Like, please, we get it. His
Yeah,
songs are good, but
yeah.
what about all the other songs on the album? Gemini Rights, bro. Like, come on now. The only popular Steve Lacy song that I agree with. The only why is Mommy Kaden is calling me? Is everything okay? Oh, sorry. The only thing, the
They
only
trying to see
thing
what you want for breakfast.
that's what I'm saying. Come on now. The only song that I really like that's like really blown up that I agree with is "Dark Red." "Dark Red" is that song. It is that girl. Wait,
Mm. I don't think I've heard that one.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
You should listen to it. Huh? I'm on.
We have a commercial break, y'all.
I'm on the podcast. Mhm. Then why are you calling me?
I love it. That's funny. Oh, that's
I
funny. A little commercial break. That's all. Oh, that's funny.
Yes, me answering. He kept calling. He called 2 times. I was like, something got to be happening if he keep calling.
Ah, mm-mm.
Yeah, like Steve Lacy
That's
he has.
funny. But yeah, shoot. What artist?
Steve Lacy, all his
Now
music is
keep talking. I'm
amazing.
trying to think of what artist I feel like. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Steve Lacy. If y'all haven't listened to Steve Lacy, I strongly suggest it. I think y'all should start off with Dark Red. That's my favorite song. I know it's like one of those like overhyped songs, but like can't think he can call into the radio. But like Dark Red, I love that song. Y'all should listen to it. I'll force, I'll force my mom and my brothers to listen to it in the car on the way to the event we got. You're about to know Steve Lacy.
That's funny.
You're about to know. You're about to know. Don't worry about it, mother. I got you. I got you. I got you. There
She
are
should not have
genuinely so
said
many,
that.
there are genuinely so many artists that people just don't really like pay attention to. Like, okay, another artist that everybody
Yeah.
just paid. Kendrick Lamar. I love DNA. I love Humble. Poetic Justice. But like, what about his? All of his albums have every single one of Kendrick's songs just goes so hard. And like on
Yeah.
don't get into my spaceship trying to connect. I will be connecting to the Bluetooth, cuz. Come on now. Like right now, everybody is really focused on his song United in Grief from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Good song. I love the vocals at the beginning. But like all the other songs and every other song, like he came out with on his Rich Spirit is another song on that album. It was a really good song. He came out with a song with his cousin Baby King, the Hillbillies. That song right there, that song is good. If you have
Oh
not
yeah.
listened to if
Yeah.
you have not listened to the Hillbillies, go listen to it right now. Right now. Cause that song it just goes hard. And then like I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but when he dropped that feature on Bad Blood, suddenly I was a Swiftie. Suddenly I love Taylor Swift. That song was everything to me.
It took me a minute. It took me and Taylor, we've been on some rocky. I've never I know this wasn't a topic, but I've never had someone emotionally manipulate me for so many years as that woman. Because when she first started off, now I do believe that artists should be able to evolve, artists should be able to grow and experiment and do different things. But when she first came out, I wasn't really paying her no mind because she was like, oh, the little country kid, little young singer songwriter. Listen, playing country music. All right, cool. She's no Dolly Parton, but that's fine. That's how I was back in the day. Then she started to go pop. And I was like, why? I'm gonna give you a chance, T. I'm gonna give you a chance, but leave the pop alone. Like leave that to that's the Gagas of the world, that's the Katy Perry's of the world, that's their domain. Stay away from there. So I listened to a couple of things. I think she won me with Red. Yeah, she won me with Red, that album. And she won me with 1989. And I was like, okay. She a little talented. She look good. Cool. She could do a little pop stuff. And then what was that? And then well, I'm not gonna lie. Her beef with Kanye did kind of annoy me. Both of them on both sides. Both of them annoyed me to death with that whole beef. I wish she would shut the fuck up, and I wish he shut the fuck up. And I was like, y'all are great, talented artists. Just make music. If y'all don't fuck with each other, that's cool. But don't throw us in the middle of your beefs. Like,
God
don't put us in
forbid.
the middle of this. And so they both annoyed me and got on my nerves, and to the point to where I ended up hating both of them. And then she came out with whatever album with the bad blood and shit like that. Now, granted, I did enjoy Kendrick being on there, but the whole album as a whole, I said, you can keep this. I don't understand the Swifties. I don't understand the Swifties. It's not for me. Her music not for me. And that's where I left it at that. Then 2020 happened. And I guess this bitch was at home bored and really had nothing to do. And she just woke up and said, I'm going to be a folk singer. And decided to come out with folklore. Man, now I was in the middle of my snake cinema and music reviews, and so I said, "Well, I've been reviewing a lot of content that I love. Let me review some content that I hate to put a little spice to the channel. Let me review this album, listen to this album, review this album, and shit on it. Like that was my goal. That was my goal. I heard that album, and I was like, damn it, this bitch got me. That album was so fucking good. That album was so fucking good. And then I have a friend who's an avid Swiftie, like he is in love. And when he heard that I listened to that album, he said, well, she dropped a second album. This bitch in 2020 dropped 2 albums in 1 year. Only
Okay.
white privilege at its best. Like, why did you drop 2 albums in 1 year? And they said, well, if you like that, listen to Evermore.
Yes.
Man, let's just say I might spend $40 on some nosebleed tickets to go see Taylor Swift live because those 2 albums back to back won me over, and now I'm a semi-partial part-time Swiftie. I was like, this bitch. Not only did she pivot and went from country to pop to folk, but that bitch made 2 incredible, amazing albums and dropped them in 1 year. I said, I hate this bitch. I hate this bitch. And then she did what was the latest album, Midnights or Meet
Yep.
Me at Midnight or whatever. I'm like, I can't
Midnight.
stand this bitch now. I can't stand that I love her. I can't stand that I love her. She has me with Stockholm syndrome. I have Stockholm syndrome for Taylor Swift now.
Not
Like I
Stockholm.
want to hate her so bad. I want to keep hating her. I want to keep hating her, but I can't because she just keeps dropping amazing animals back to back to back, and it's getting on my nerves.
It
Eventually, I'm
happens.
gonna hate her again one day because she gonna say something. She gonna say something, do something stupid again one day. But
Well, wasn't she dating that one guy that was like really like racist and like homophobic and stuff?
I don't know because one thing I learned, one thing 2020 has taught me, and one thing this year has taught me is to stop following celebrities on online. I don't follow them on Instagram. There's only certain like queer artists I will follow or queer activists I will follow. But other than that, I don't follow any celeb or any famous known person on social media because I like knowing the artist for their work and not for them.
Yeah.
I learned that. I learned that a lot in 2020 when a lot of artists had nothing else to do. So they decided to go on Twitter and say some stupid shit or do some stupid shit. And quite frankly, I am 34 years old. Thanks to my cousin who loves reminding me, I am almost 40. He just loves reminding me that we are so close to 40. And so I don't have time to cancel an artist every 5 minutes because they said something stupid, they did something stupid, or they dated someone stupid. So if she is dating a problematic person, I have no idea. I don't know nothing. I'm out the loop. All I know is that she dropped another album and it slammed. That's all I know. And I like life that way.
I gotta bring up my boy Jermaine, J. Cole. He ain't never missed.
Oh
Never,
yeah, Jay.
never missed.
No, he has not. He has not. He has not.
Even
But oh, yeah, keep going. Yeah.
even his most popular songs, like if No Role Models, it's one of them that song is good. I can listen to that on repeat like everybody else. What's poppin', Snake?
Yeah. She I said she was the co-host and she's only been on for like 5 minutes. So I had to show her again.
And
Got no
then
love.
the weekend. In the beginning, I was really iffy about the weekend. His
Mm,
songs were very explicit for no reason. I do not need to
yeah.
know how, when, where you are about to do whatever activities you are about to commit within the first minute of a song. Give me a chance to marinate first, bro. But then he came out with, and so like there was the hill. But then right? He came out with After Hours. After Hours is one of the
Yeah.
best albums. That was one of the best albums that came out of 2020 ever.
Yeah.
After
That was
Hours and
yeah.
Starborn, those are his two best albums.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Jesus. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but we're gonna touch on this because we've been touching on a lot of topics, but we're gonna touch on this. I did listen to Tom McDonald, Ronald McDonald, whatever his name is, and I will say his music's not for me. I get the appeal, especially his first couple of songs and albums that he came out with. Well, songs, I don't know if he's created full albums, but his first couple of songs, I get it. But how do I say this politely without sounding like a dick? His music is for rednecks. It's not for me. His music is for his music is for honestly his music, it sounds very QAnon and Republican for me. He just happens to rap. Now, is he a good rapper? Some songs, yes. He makes like his rhyme schemes, his cadences, his flows. I can see the appeal. I get it. And whenever a white boy come out and rap, people got to get up on it. It started off with Eminem. Well, actually, it started off with Beastie Boys, but Beastie Boys, Eminem,
Press your
Logic,
feet, that's what
Russ,
you
Russ. I get it. I get the appeal. And yes, he rhyming wise, he can rap.
don't
However,
forget about the don't forget about the dude that made Ice Baby. What was that dude? Vanilla Ice? Come on now.
we don't know. He was like Elvis. We don't acknowledge him.
Come on now.
uh, and Mac Miller to go RIP. But I will say content wise and who he appeals to, not for me. He it's just that I feel like Tom McDonald is a rapper who really wants to say nigga so bad, but he know he can't.
He
But
looks like he's seen it
you
before.
know,
I looked up his y'all. I don't think y'all understand. Hold on, let me show the stream what this man looked like because he
yeah, if you
genuinely
know how to share, yeah, go ahead because I don't know.
because go
Okay, we will acknowledge Go Ninjas Go.
because why?
It's like
Who? What is this?
exactly what is that? It's like he saw 6ix9ine and said, "Hold my beer."
Hold on, no for real.
So
Like
yes,
there.
I did. I told y'all whoever y'all suggest to me, I am going to give them a listen. I'm going to give them a try, but I really feel like I messed up my Spotify algorithm and I really messed up my I messed up my streak of good music and good artists because not a fan, not for me. If they start suggesting if they I feel like Spotify is now going to start suggesting Kid Rock to me and I don't like it after listening
That's
to a couple of his tracks.
you should make another Spotify playlist with songs that you like that you get suggested so that it doesn't mess up your
My
regular music.
algorithm, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. That's what I need to do. I need to do suggestions only playlist. But yeah,
No,
the old McDonald can go. Yes, I agree. So I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm pretty sure he's great for you and you like him, but for me, not a fan. Not a fan. I just can't. I can't. Mm-mm.
I
It
don't
looks
even.
too Q and it looks like some. It, he looks like something that the Bass Pro Shop people can listen to. Um, but
I feel like
also,
I
the
feel like I'm
coons
gonna
like
walk into Cracker Barrel and
also
hear that man.
yeah, yeah, Cracker Barrel or he looked like he looked like something that Candace Owens listened to and say, "Now this is hip hop. This is
This is
rap."
listen to the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys go hard. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
No sleep
yeah.
till Brooklyn is my jam, bro. No sleep.
Classic. The Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, Cairo. We went over an hour. I did not expect this podcast. We did good. Yay. Woo, woo. See what happens when you talk about stuff you love and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
you hate.
And
Oh
trust me,
my
I can keep
gosh,
going. I
y'all.
can keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, and we definitely look. We definitely got to have you back on for other things because I still got beef with you about WandaVision. I'm
It
sorry.
was bad. It was
No,
bad.
it was
It was
not.
bad. There were
You
so
can't
many.
tell me. You cannot tell me WandaVision was bad when there's a lot of
It,
other shit that exists that's bad.
you know what? You got a point. But as a Marvel series, on him, look, mother, I am busy right now. We all talk in the car if I got to.
We about to go get off, kid. We about to. I just look. We're gonna have a part two with Cairo. We are because I got beef about WandaVision. I'm sorry. So and
They
I am episode 5 is gonna be a Marvel show, and I'm gonna have other reptile people on. It might be crowded, but I want to have us a one-on-one Marvel only episode. That might be episode
yeah,
6
of
because
course.
I gotta we gotta argue WandaVision. I'm sorry.
Cairo for president. Let's go.
Yes, yes. This has been a great podcast, a great episode. I am gonna let Cairo go because they got a lot to do. They mama trying to work them like a Hebrew slave for this event. So we are going to go. We're gonna leave on that note. But thank you everybody who tuned in. We had like on average this whole hour, like 10 plus guests. So I appreciate it. Even if you're not engaging in the chat and you're just listening to us be passionate about music. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who's been talking in the chat. Whether you agree or disagree with us, whether you think we do too much, just know that I
Hijacking this
appreciate
show.
everybody. Look, this child gotta go make them monies. Gotta go get the monies. But yes, I appreciate everybody. Please, before we go, check out, first of all, stop what you're doing. Go to Instagram and follow Cairo at Captured by Cairo. They were the reason why we have the Snake Cinema podcast logo, my backdrop. I took it off so I could show Maleficent because she was hiding. But they did my backdrop, my logo, which I appreciated. They also did Dundee and Rock's logos, official logos, and Beyond the Scales. So please go check them out on
I
Instagram.
also did snakes and vapes, but Mr. Rock
Yes.
refuses to put it up.
Oh yeah, Snakes and Vapes. Yeah, Rock is just Rock is a grown man, but mentally he has the mind of a 4-year-old. So you got to remind him over and over again on things. But
I do
yeah,
love it.
speaking of which, tomorrow Rock has Snapes and Vapes podcast. Check it out tomorrow. I believe on my time zone, Central is 5 p.m. Might be different where you live, but go check it out. And then also check us out on Tuesdays. Check out the Wild Bunch on Beyond the Scales, where we have Miss Candy, who's in the comments. Um, yes, please follow Cairo. Uh, and then and all the other podcasts. I shouted out so many podcasts last episode. So if you don't know, please go and go back to the end of that podcast and all the podcasts I list from Monday through Sunday. There's a show every day. So please go check them out. But check out Snapes and Vape tomorrow. And then Tuesday, check us out on Rock on Reptiles for um, the Wild Bunch / Beyond the Scales. And follow Candy while y'all at it. Follow Candy Kane if you don't because she makes things too. She's making a bluey water bottle for me. That I can't wait to rock at school. The kids are gonna be so jealous when they see my water bottle. Uh she makes tumblers, she do t-shirts, she do it all. And of course they're doing a reptile educational show today. So please follow them, check them out, Ohana Scales and all that jazz, all that jazz. Follow Dundee, follow Nameless, follow Roe, follow Rock, follow everybody, follow each other. I know Bosa's not in the chat, but follow him too. He will find out later. We're going to beat him up later for not being here. But yes,
Thank, thank you
I
to everyone.
appreciate.
Thank you to everyone who came and watched me, my friends, my mom, my brothers, Destiny, who's been texting me throughout the entire podcast, letting me know what I forgot. I went through my notes with her before everything. So,
Yes,
but
and
yes, I
shout
just
out
want.
to my guests. Yes, shout out to my guest Cairo for pre-planning these topics. Like they went ham. They was she they were emailing me, messaging me. Okay, these are the show notes. This is what I want to talk about. And I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. I love pre-planning. Pre-planning is amazing for these
Oh yeah, y'all.
podcasts because
I had a I had a I had a playlist and everything. I don't think I got a Google Doc over here with all my notes. Like I was
look, and they are so great. They even made a music playlist on Spotify for me to listen to that deals with these topics. So shout out to Cairo. Cairo is amazing. Cairo is the best co-host and guest, which is why we are going to make them return for a Marvel episode
of course.
because we got to debate real hard on Marvel.
I will I will continue to trash talk WandaVision. I will be prepared for the next time I'm on here.
Okay, I'm gonna have to prepare too because I'm going to defend Wanda. Wanda's my girl. I'm gonna have to defend. Ah, yes. Okay. Okay. So let's go before Candy gets on this screen and cuss me out for holding up they progress and they work. So thank you again, Cairo. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody in the chat. I really do appreciate it. I love y'all. And we will catch y'all next Saturday,
This is in the frog.
9
That's like
a.m. Oh, yes. We could talk about that too. Yes, of course.
that's my favorite
Yes.
movie.
Oh, yes. Matter of fact, put in your notes, put in your Google Docs. WandaVision, we're going to talk Marvel, but we're also going to talk whether or not we believe, because I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a lot, but I had nobody to bounce off. But do we believe that Disney did right by not only Princess and the Frog, but other Black
Ooh,
characters?
I'm
Like,
excited for
hey,
next time.
yeah, yeah. So put that in your notes. I'm gonna put in my notes. We're gonna discuss, do we think Disney does do us right or do us justice when they put our characters or give us characters in their movies. So that would be the next topic. Yes, we're gonna debate and then we're gonna talk Disney and characters of color. Yes. All right. So let's go. Let's get on out of here and sign off. Thank you, Cairo, so much. Thank you, chat. See us again next Saturday. I have no idea what I'm reviewing next Saturday, but I will review something, probably some crap on Netflix. But come back next Saturday, 9 a.m. for Snake Cinema Podcast, where we talk about movies, music, TV shows, and show off some snakes. This is Elias. This is Maleficent. That's Cairo. And we are out. Peace.
Bye.
Hold on.